John McInnes, one of the owners, is one of my dear old friends. And when he became one of the owners of the Flora-Bama, I remember him saying, "Can you believe we used to hang out here almost every weekend and now I own it?" So, as we said, this weekend is the Flora-Bama's 50th anniversary, and you know there is going to be a huge party. Jennifer Surface Ivy and Pat McClellan, who's another owner, is here to give you details. But first, I want to talk about the history. Will gave us a little bit of history, but take us back to what you and I were talking about during the commercial break, how it all got started.
Well, it's going to be a surprise for the Tamperies. The Tamperies started this back in the late 50s, early 60s. Alabama, this is the way to start. Alabama went to Florida and said, "Hey, Florida, we've only got 30 miles of beach. We're a poor state. We need help with this bridge here, you know." Florida says, "Well, heck, we got 1,800 miles of bridge. You take the first 2 miles on the west side and you build your own bridge." And that was back in the early 60s. So at that point, theater, Tamperies said, "Well, heck, we need to put a bar here because all those fishermen are thirsty." So, they put a little bar right there straddling the line and managed to ingratiate themselves to the growing area there as it went along and just kept going and going and going. So this is going to be kind of a tribute to them. Their family, their sons are still here. Constantine and Connie and Anthony, Bubba, still hanging in there, and their families, and it's kind of a memorial to them. We're going to put a little marker down there and celebrating the 50th and young, owned by everybody that's been there,
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing, and there's some special events going on too.
It's hard to believe, just picture back in the day, Flora-Bama was one of the only things in that area. Like all those condos weren't there,
Right.
So I mean, this was the place to go. It's still the place to go. When you go to the beach, you have to go to the Flora-Bama. And we have some old pictures. Here's before and after. Can you believe the before and after looking back at it? Do you remember when it looked like that?
Well, even before that, it's just a roadhouse, an old honky-tonk, and people liked it that way. As John said, we're trying to go forward and keep the flavor there. It's a place, it's a place where people have fond memories, from years, and we're going on three generations now, and I think we like to think that this is still going to be a place for another 50 years that people can remember.
Oh yeah,
being at. So.
And it survived hurricanes, floods, fires. I mean, it still keeps going.
Yeah, and we've managed to put it up high enough with the. By the way, we did with John's help, and then we put the original bar that was washed away up on that second floor. So this is we put all the wood back just the way it was. We had it all numbered, some of the original brick, some of the old memorabilia. We got plenty of good players playing. This week we're going to have we're going to do a blast of the past.
Yes.
Driving in a '64 GTO or a Mustang or a car before '64. And we'll reserve you a spot and give you a brick from the old building.
Love that. So if you have a 1964 car or anything before that year, you definitely want to be at the Flora-Bama. But we all want to be at the Flora-Bama this weekend because it is turning 50. So Jennifer, Pat mentioned a blast to the past. Everything, we're going 60s, right?
We are. So we'll have all kinds of the original players from back in the day at Flora-Bama. They'll be playing music from 1964, kind of give it that feel. We'll have 60s pricing. We have 50-cent drafts. We'll have burgers and fries for $1.50. It'll be all kinds of stuff going on. We just want to give back to the community. They've given us so much over 50 years, and we're excited.
And there's a new announcement you were talking about over the commercial break.
Yes, Taylor Hicks. He will come and celebrate with us. He'll be there Friday at 5 and Saturday at 8:30.
Great. Is he going to sing maybe some Elvis songs?
Oh yeah.
Well,
we love singing those
I
Elvis
just
songs.
I left a message with Elvis himself. That he may show up doing the Viva Las Vegas gig, and we got we've got Shauna P, Wild Bill Emerson, and all sorts of our players coming down. Jay Hawkins, of course, some of the old people, Ken Lambert, and it should be a nice tribute to the past. $1 War Eagle and Crimson Tide specialty drinks, which we had back then, thanks to the Tamperies, and we're going to have a good time for everybody, and we'll probably enjoy it through the weekend. And $1 tall boys too.
Okay, so some good prices. You never know who you're going to see at the Flora-Bama. Kenny Chesney has been there. He's going to be back August 16th. Hopefully you got tickets to that. Kid Rock was there when he was in town for his concert. A lot of people. Kenny Stabler for years.
Throwing a fish, yeah.
Oh yeah, you never know. And that's what's so unique about the Flora-Bama. Not only that it's on the Florida-Alabama state line, but also that you can have just a beach bum sitting right next to a huge celebrity, and it's just that, no big deal. So love the Flora-Bama. This is the weekend to be there. Help the Flora-Bama celebrate the 50th anniversary all weekend long. Is something you do not want to miss.